The gospel creates shaming behavior in those who don't like it. That's their only defense, to shame you. I invite you to open your Bibles to Romans chapter 1, verse 16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God for salvation to everyone who believes, to the Jew first and also to the Greek. You see, believing and preaching the gospel is what's bringing shame on to Paul. Before this verse functions to deliver him from shame, it functions to shame him. Let me just give you some examples of how this works for the Apostle Paul. 2 Corinthians 11:23, when he preaches the gospel, in far more labors, he says, I am in far more labors, in more imprisonments, beaten times without number, often in danger of death. 5 times I received from the Jews 39 lashes. 3 times I was beaten with rods. Once I was stoned. 3 times I was shipwrecked. Paul's way of not being ashamed was not that he keep himself in a good light with other people. It was not that he had enough savvy so that he could always maneuver his way through life, getting people to approve what he did. That's one way to avoid the shame problem in the world. Always calculate your behavior so that people like you. You will be a slave if you do that. You will be a second-hander and in bondage all your life long if you try to avoid shame by pleasing other people. Jesus looked at shame in the face and said, I despise you. I despise you. I will not yield to you. I will not give you any satisfaction. You may do with me whatever you please in the short run. I will not obey you. I will not follow you. I will not give in to you. I despise you, shame, and I will not let you rule me. That's what Jesus did with shame. He despised shame. He gave shame no place. And with every truckload of shame that was dumped on Jesus, he said, I despise it all. I will give it no space in my heart. I will not be ashamed of my Father. How did he do that? How did he get the power to despise the shame? Verse 2 of Hebrews 12 says, for the joy that was set before him, he despised the shame. So how are you going to overcome your feelings of shame today and tomorrow and the next day? You're going to say this. The gospel is the power of God to bring people to salvation. You're going to look beyond the immediate shame and you're going to say, that's power. And so the way you're going to be shamed today is not by being accused of being wrong, but believing that others are wrong or that there is such a thing as wrong. So mark it. Here's my closing word. You will be shamed for the gospel, but you do not have to be ashamed of the gospel.